All right, and now we're gonna jump into some movies here, right? So, I'm just gonna talk briefly on being Ricardos, just mainly because it's Oscar season. Well, we're still in Oscar season, sorry, and it's less than well, I should say, roughly 2 weeks before the Academy Awards take place, right? Now, of course, I know for some people, like you, Ashton, you could care less about the Oscars, but
Fuck
I,
you.
I more, I more, I more care about the films themselves, right? Especially if there's any value or if there's any longevity in them, right?
Well,
So
I
that's
hope
why I
you
would say
guys
that.
discuss Spider-Man getting snubbed. You're not even a mention.
I
Look,
mean,
it get nominated for best visual effects, right? No, as a matter of
getting
fact,
snubbed for what?
two Marvel movies get nominated, right? That and Shang-Chi. They couldn't even give it to the Suicide Squad, bro.
Yeah, but Spider
Yeah,
Man.
but nah, man,
DC, I
Shang-Chi,
get that.
nah, Suicide Squad should have get something over Shang-Chi, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
But
No,
Shang-Chi was
Spider-Man,
good,
yes,
but it
it's
wasn't
fine,
as
but
good
but
as Suicide
Shang-Chi,
Squad, you know what I mean?
yeah, agreed. I mean, Spider-Man, yes, that deserves to be there. Shang-Chi, yeah, but Suicide Squad, bro, come on, right? But yeah, anyway, right? So I've already covered Best Picture nominees though, but I want to touch on some Best Actress nominees as well, right? So this one here features McGill, Nicole Kidman. She plays Lucille Ball. I mean, if you should know that name, especially if you're familiar with just pop culture and TV shows and whatnot. Because yes, she was the star of the iconic TV series I Love Lucy, right? Which is a show that is one of those shows similar to like what is by the Honeymooners, right? The Honeymooners, right?
That's
I
the show
always
about
feel about
the spouse abuse, right? That's not the show where he gonna cuff his wife
Yes.
so hard she flies
Yes,
to the
yes.
moon.
Yeah, to
Oh,
the
all
moon. Yep.
right, right,
Ralph Cramden, yes.
yeah, you
yes,
imagine that
yes.
was, and yo, I'll be honest, that was good humor back in the day, and that was hilarious back in the day. But no, that shit would not fly whatsoever, bro. Not whatsoever. Not even as a
I
funny joke.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
I
mean,
know. I remember.
Futurama made that joke in thing, did the move thing, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a show just like The Honeymooners was a show that I always heard about, but I just never watched it. I mean, for me, basically the reason back then was just kind of simple. It was black and white, and it's just I felt, well, okay, that's just a dumb reason, but basically it was just that it was late 50s, early 60s humor. And yes, I was introduced, in my childhood to stuff like Gilligan's Island, but I don't think that humor would have, the humor in this show, I Love Lucy, would have ever clicked with me, right? So I never bothered to watch it. But the point I get at is that I mean it is still regarded as one of the greatest TV shows, regardless of genre, ever made, right? So what this show here is about, it touches on Lucille Ball and her real life husband, Desi Arnaz, who is played by Javier Bardem, right? And both Nicole and Javier are nominated for best for best actress and actor respectively, right? And yeah, basically what this show is right. It just kind of centers on this particular episode of the show. So I forgot to mention too, it's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, right? So yeah, and if you're familiar with his writing style, you kind of know that he loves his dialogue. He loves just quips and just characters just kind of quipping off each other and whatnot, just delivering, well, not as rapid fire, see like Social Network, but like every comment has some kind of meaning. You know what I mean? It's just it may sound like random, but there's also kind of meaning to it, right? And yeah, so essentially it centers on just, well, just the pre-production stage of an episode that's being aired, right? Sorry, that's being filmed, right? And because I'm not familiar with I Love Lucy, it's actually probably one of the most memorable episodes involved, right? But we see in just the lives of both Lucille and Desi, right? It's revealed that Lucille is pregnant with her second child, and Desi is trying to deal with this as well too. Apparently back then, at announcing in a show, in a TV show, in a sitcom, more or less, that you're pregnant and incorporate that into the sitcom itself was a no-no. So you had like TV execs saying, no, you can't do that, or can't do that, right? But Desi being kind of like he more or less kind of running the show, so to speak. He have a lot of clout, so he could say, yeah, we're gonna do that, right? We're gonna incorporate this pregnancy into the show. So yes, Lucy is pregnant, right? Duh. And while all this is going on now, um, we also see like just some flashbacks involving, just the early days of Lucille and Desi, right? Where they first met. Desi, he was an actor as well too, but he's also a musician. He's a singer. He's part of this sort of like this Latin jazz band or whatever it is though. Lucille, sorry, was this up and coming actress. She was signed on to RKO Studios, RKO Pictures basically. And really and truly, I Love Lucy was her big break, right? But there's a great moment where she kind of establishes that, she kind of wants the story itself. Because just wanted this just to be a sitcom about her, but she really wanted it to be about her and her husband, right? So that's one basic theme that they established here in the show early on. That it's really about the two of them. You could say technically they are like the one of the first true power couples, right? In TV, right? But throughout the show, you kind of learn little things about them as well too. You learn that the marriage isn't as strong or as stable as you might expect, right? So
Right.
there's some things going on as well too, but you can really feel it for Lucille, trying to keep her shit together because she's going through stress. I mean, not just with the pregnancy, but something else involving Desi, which I don't want to spoil, right? And just other things that's going on, just expectations from herself, from her cast, everybody and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'll stop here. So, just to touch on the nominations themselves quickly, right? So this currently is nominated for Best Actor, Actress, and Best Supporting Actor with we boy J.K. Simmons. Yeah, he did this as well too. And I thought that for the time he was there, he was great though. He was excellent though.
Right.
He brought a lot of sarcasm, a lot of humor in it as well too. He plays the actor William Frawley. He was actually one of the actors in the show, right? He plays Fred Mertz. He's the landlord in the show as well, right? As far as as far as the leads themselves, I thought that both Nicole and Javier were great though. But for me, if in terms of who I think should win, well, everybody's right now is rooted for Nicole to win, right? But if she wins, that'd be great in my opinion, right? Even though, I'm not saying that she delivered like one of the greatest performances ever in her career, though. But she was quite believable as Lucille Ball. This is coming from somebody who isn't even familiar with with the show at all, right? But yeah, she just immerses herself into that performance, though, from accents to looks to all that kind of stuff. To just her look and all that kind of stuff. She just nails it down. She really does feel like, it is legit like you are watching Lucille Ball in this modern film, right? But I also felt like this show should have been nominated for Best Original Screenplay because I felt like, Aaron actually did a great job in terms of just establishing this world, just the politics, the rules, just how TV shows were made back then. And just the expectations of both Lucy and Desi, just what they want in their careers, just they want their careers to be afloat to begin with, right? Desi in particular, he's doing the whole production stuff and acting and all that kind of stuff, but his heart is always at music as well, though, and you can kind of feel how that affects Lucille because she kind of wants him by his side, basically, right? As we expected, Lucille is going through some feminist based issues as well, so she has to kind of put her foot down and let people know, this is what I want. Just because I'm a dame doesn't mean I can't have this blah 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 blah, right? Like, so literally she had to fight to be in the show as being pregnant, because again, like I said, back then that was a no-no, right? Speaking of which, the supporting cast, some faces that I didn't expect to see. Case in point, we have not one but two people from Arrested Development. We have Aliyah Shawkat.
Okay.
She shows up in this, like, what? Okay. She's a writer on the show. And Tony Hill. Yeah, Buster was in this, like, what? Okay, you in this? All right. So he plays Jess Oppenheimer. He's a producer, writer, director as well, right? I even saw Clark Gregg. I'm like, what? You in this too?
Yeah,
All
nice one.
right. Big names and all that kind of stuff, though. But yeah, I thought that the cast, did a great job individually. But really, is the screenplay that holds this together. Just the sharp, witty dialogue, just the great banter between characters and whatnot, right? As for the story itself, right? I would say that unless you are very knowledgeable in, I Love Lucy, or I would say from TV and film history, this source material will hit you a lot harder than like people like me kind of go into this not knowing what went on or what's going on behind the scenes, right? So I know for some people they might just kind of watch this and be like, all right, yes, it's a nice little period piece, and you can kind of kick back and relax and chill and watch it. But like for me personally, this honestly is not a show I'm going to be going back to. And I imagine it's going to be the same thing for other people as well. Because for what's worth, it's fine. It's a fine film. It's really decent. It does what it's supposed to say, what it had to say. I actually thought that the ending in particular was quite strong, especially when a certain reveal takes place, right? But yeah, I mean, as far as just direction as well too. I forgot to mention, Aaron Sorkin did a decent enough job with this film here, right? But I just felt like source material, well, just material wise, it didn't really grip me as much as I expected to. Again, it leads a lot on nostalgia. It's just like, yes, these were how times were. So if you want to just see the behind the scenes look at one of your favorite TV shows, I guess then you watch this, right? And I guess the sell that will be the sell of this going forward, right? I think for now, this why people will check this out is because of the nominations, especially Nicole Kidman's, right? But it is much deserved though. Nicole Kidman's performance I thought was excellent, right? And I would be happy if she wins, man. But I haven't seen anything else as far as Best Actress nominations go. But I thought that she did a great job, man. Javier Bardem's nomination is much deserved as well too. But technically it's not his show, so I don't think he's gonna win per se, right? But that's not to say that he didn't give a bad performance, right? So as a whole, this was pretty good, man. But honestly, it's not a show that I'm going to be going back to in a hurry. I didn't love it as all that, though. But I would say that if you are a fan of that era of TV, that era of pop culture, then you will appreciate it more. And last thing I'll say before I get to rating, though, there's actually a documentary right now. Actually, I was planning to watch this back to back with this show here, right? But I just didn't get around to it. It's called Lucy Desi. It's actually directed. Yeah, it's actually directed by Amy Poehler, right, from Parks and Recreation, right?
Right.
So yeah, I kind of want to see that just because she's helming it, right? And I heard a lot of great things about it, right? Maybe one day I'll check it out. Maybe for the next episode, perhaps. I can't really say, but I just really want to see this movie here because of the Oscar buzz surrounding it, right? So rating wise, I'm gonna give this strong 3 out of 5, man. It's tight. It's tight for what it is. It's a pretty decent show. You should watch it. But I would say, just in closing though, if you're not invested in this material, then this show is not going to do anything for you at all, right? But if you're curious, if you at least want to see what Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem and even J.K. Simmons did in this film for them to be nominated in the first place, yeah, check it out, man. But for me, I think Aaron Sorkin could get a little something for Best Original Screenplay, man, because once again, he shows why he is one of the, I would say, still one of the most highly recognizable, I would say, screenwriters working in the business today, man. So again, I mean, if you know you're gonna be invested in this material, give it a look. If this era, if this story, or even if this show, as in the I Love Lucy show, just isn't for you, then yeah, I don't think you're gonna enjoy this at all. And yeah, that's all I have to say on me, the Ricardos, man.
Cool.